Flex, only one place to start, isn't there? Gary Neville's comments that some of the United players are whinge bags. What did you make of it? Do you agree?
Yeah, I do agree. I do agree. He could have used a lot of different adjectives to describe what we saw at Newcastle and some of the performances we've seen. You've got to take it with a pinch of salt. But I absolutely agree. I mean, obviously at the game, going to all the games and watching the boys live. But it doesn't matter where you watch it, on TV, in the stadiums, listening to it on the radio, watching the highlights afterwards. The generic appetite to play with generic intensity on and off the ball is just absolutely appalling right now. Already it's getting tedious, and rightly so. Ralph Rangnick should be saying it, but as a fan, it's getting tedious already hearing the words physicality, intensity. Yes, he's talking about balance and control over the games, but those two things that stand out for me is the intensity. It's a basic requirement of any football match from Sunday League right up to now. The minimum requirement is to put that effort in, put that intensity in. We've played against Norwich and Newcastle, respectively, who have been having horrendous seasons. You look at the other teams who play against them, who've dispatched of them really convincingly. After Norwich, Aston Villa went there, dealt with them easy. Arsenal go there 5-0. Manchester United absolutely struggling. And it's not to take anything away from these two teams because they played really well against us. But our generic appetite, players I'm looking at players just strutting around the pitch. I'm looking at the forward players. Yes, Ronaldo was making runs and not being found, but other forward players is kind of just waiting for things to happen, being reactive instead of proactive. We've got formation issues that Ralph Rangnick has to sort out as well. But for me, the biggest problem I see is little cliques of players and just like I said, the generic appetite and hunger to play with intensity on and off the ball. I can get to individual performances, which will be here all morning. I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit more. But for me, the most concerning thing is that attitude and appetite to play quick.
So little cliques of players, James, that doesn't sound good. That sounds like a lack of team spirit. But they've also been accused of having a lack of leadership. Do you see that when you're watching them?
I think there's a lack of leadership, a lack of clarity, but Flex put it perfectly well, a lack of intensity. I think if you ask any football fan, whatever team you support, all you ask from your players is to give 100%. If they're not good enough, so be it. Then you look at the manager, you look at the recruitment staff. Why are they playing for my club? That's what you look at. But if they're putting in 100%, you can't really say any more than that. But what we're seeing with Man United is arms flailing all over the air. It's making broadcasters like me having to read children's books to work out what whinge bags even means. So thanks, Gary Neville, for that. That's improving my vocabulary a little bit more. But look, ultimately, are there a lack of leaders on the pitch? They shouldn't be. When you've got your likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, you've got Rafael Varane, you've got Bruno Fernandes, you've got Harry Maguire, you've got Marcus Rashford, who's a leader in himself, David De Gea as well. There are lots of players there who you would consider as leaders, but it just doesn't seem to be gelling right for them at this present time.
Flex, James just mentioned Harry Maguire there. That was the fourth name he mentioned, and he's the captain of Manchester United. Should he be the captain of Manchester United?
I'll tell you what happened. I don't know if the cameras picked this up, but you see things off the ball when you're live at the game. And Ronaldo was going in at the referee about a free kick, and then he goes over to Maguire, has a word with him, and basically says, "Mate, get over there and talk to the ref." And I looked at that and just thought, it doesn't look like Harry Maguire is the one in there who's going to pull rank. You see some little reports that are not confirmed that he's been a little bit more subdued because of the figure of Ronaldo's kind of come to the club. But what I will say about Harry Maguire is, regardless of little things like that, is his own performances, I don't feel, have been up to the standard that I expect of a Manchester United captain, in terms of being commanding on and off the ball, positional sense, the way he's not taking care of his own performances, amongst others as well. But as a Manchester United captain, you are looked at as the pinnacle. You are looked at as the player who, in training or on the training ground, you're going to be the voice of the players. You're going to go and knock on the gaffer's door saying, listen, some of the lads are saying this, some of the lads are saying that. You're that link between the squad and the coaching staff. And at the moment, it looks like it's the armband's weighing quite heavy on him. I want him to play his best football. I want him to be consistent. But right now, he's looking like a little bit of a weak link in there. Rafael Varane coming back from injury. OK, we can say that we could give him a little bit more time. Victor Lindelof's been absolutely brilliant. Eric Bailly not playing. So I think it was Ollie coming in and saying that, you know what, He's £80 million. He's going to be my captain now. And does Ralph Rangnick upset that apple cart and take it off him? I don't think Ralph Rangnick will do that. But he's not playing like a Manchester United captain should be for me.
Another story coming out of Old Trafford in the past couple of weeks is the future of Anthony Martial, potentially going to Sevilla. Sevilla want to bring him on loan. United not willing to let players go out on loan. Do you think Martial's time has come to an end at Old Trafford?
I think so. What's he in his 7th season now? And we're probably saying out of those seasons, we've had two proper seasons out of Anthony Martial. I think for both parties, I think it's best that he departs. Ralph Rangnick obviously saying that he wants players here, doesn't want to have to convince players to stay. He wants players that are going to work here in the long run. So I see a player in Martial, but how many times have I said that as a Manchester United fan and using the phrase on his day? I think he's got some great technical abilities. I think he's fantastic on the ball. He's a very clever player. But right now, he's out of form, out of favour, and wants to move. If he wants to move, I would say give it to him. But some of the way that the forward players are playing at the moment, there is a little bit of me that would have loved to have seen him under Ralph Rangnick and to see what could have been. But I've emotionally checked out from a while ago because I haven't seen that consistency. And if we need to get players out and refresh and get players who want to be here and are going to work hard and give us that level of consistency in a new look Manchester United, then I'm here for it. No player's bigger than the club, but it is a shame because he's had so much potential, and I think he's probably looking at it as well like he hasn't seen that best of him.